The applause. Okay. Welcome to this talk about motion layout. So we're going to be talking about motion layout, how to make animation in your app. So yeah, as you said, my name is Alex. This is my full name, so just Alex is fine. I just have my Twitter account. The Medium link you have here, you can find articles about what I will be talking about. So if you want to catch up, you can get there. And the GitHub link I give you is, well, the project you see is right there. I am working for Xavier, this is the name of the company, and we are moving to Publicis Sapiens. So we do apps, Android, iOS, data scientists, many things coming in. Let's jump into the topic right now. So yes, this talk is about motion layout. So we are describing views with XMLs and transitions between view with XML. So there's a lot of XMLs everywhere, and so yeah, a few Kotlin I think, but yeah, most of the talk is about XMLs. Just before we start, how many of you try motion layout already? We have like 5 people, maybe more. Okay, that's cool. Well, this is a like tutorial, so you won't get lost. Yeah, so the first thing I will go is I have those 2 views there. One is I have donut on the left, and one is I have donut on the right. And so the idea is how I can do a transition between them. So motion layout will help you to have with those 2 views, create a smooth transition between them. And that's the basic idea. Motion layout is in beta 3 since Wednesday this week. So I have to adapt to a few things because, well, the Android Dev Summit announced a few things. So many things change. We have the new motion editor coming in, so I will be showing you that at the end. Yeah, so you can pull the project like this, and yes, get started. Motion layout so is a component built on top of constraint layout, so you will have all the advantages, and motion layout give you extra tools to actually move it. That's it. Yeah. So cut time. I will show you my IDE, how it always works. So this is not the Canary Vision, this is basic version. So you have an activity there, not so fancy with the image. And so I changed my constraint layout to motion layout there, as I previously mentioned. And so this gives me two things, just 2 attributes. So the layout descriptions is where I will specify change. So this is a scene file. XML file like we'll show you in a moment, and the show path through is actually something debug things to actually help you to display the path on your screen when you're building it. So let's jump to the scene file. This is my scene file. So you have a start state and an end state there, and you just specify those 2 there, and you specify constraints. So so for the start, I like start off. So this is on the left. And for the end, you have the constraint end to end. So I specify modification between those 2. The rest keeps the same. You can skip it, but yeah. Let's go. So yes, this is the example I show you. This is the result. So when I swipe left to right, my donut move. So I will reduce it a little, that you can give all the thing interesting. So you specify the start and the end and the constraint you modified it. Let's change more things if you want to. So yeah, I can change the size of my, it's Eclair now, this one. Yeah. And make it bigger at the end. So it's just get the size changing. I can do something else. So I curve the path in that example by creating a key set positions. This key positions is actually set on the middle. So the 50 you have there is specified at the middle of the transitions. The 0.25 you have here is just on the 8. So it's like the first quarter of the screen. And so you can actually make curve if you want to this position. The ID, the motion target you have, is the ID of the droid that I'm moving in. A more complex example, I scale to in the middle, so you can make it bigger and make it like the same on the beginning. Still on the 50, so on the middle of the transition. I can do more things, rotation. So yeah, just minus 45 degrees. So just like slightly moving. Yeah, so many things coming in. I can actually refer the background color of the attribute of the image. So the thing you see here is the attribute of the image view that I'm moving. So I'm starting to brown to green. Yeah, so you can play with the component itself, not only its constraints. If I want to switch the image during the animations, I need to change the image view to an image filter view, and this we had the attribute sources there you can have, and so you can just specify something else and play with the crossfade attribute starting from 0 to 1, and that will change the image smoothly. I can play with saturation, so saturation is 0, and start to 0, go to 1. That just actually get to black and white to colorful images. Right, a more complex example there. So I'm just making many things coming in. So there's 3 key positions, each one of the quarter of the image. And so what I want to emphasize in that particular example is the start horizontal. So you can specify if you want to start horizontal or vertical. And so, well, the first one right here is this horizontal there. So you start there. The second one, which is vertical, just specify that you can go down directly. And the third one, just starting horizontally again. And the last one is up there, and you can start vertical. So it helps you to actually curve the path the way you want to a little bit. So yeah, just giving tools. Well, that's good. That's many examples, but very basic. How I use it in my application. So we can play with coordinates of view pages and drawers to actually play with this and create more complex things. Just a few examples, just right there. So yeah, so I have a coordinator that my droid is moving inside. I have a drawer that everything turns. So that may be controversial in UI. You choose. But yes, many span. Yeah, the view pages just jump in and change the background color. So how does it work? I will show you. Just right there. So yeah, for this example, I have a custom collapse side toolbar. So this is the custom component for me. And so I refer a scene motion, and you have the background that is the marshmallow, and you have the droid that the droid is moving. So yes, this is my custom component that extends MotionLayout. So I give you all the thing about MotionLayout, and I just measuring the offset of the coordinates moving in, and update my progress, which is this attribute there, of my MotionLayout. So this is how the two communicates. So when you swipe, the MotionLayouts know where you are in the transition. So yeah, and yeah, well, this example is very classy. So the start position is actually on the middle, and the end positions is outside on the left. This is how you obtain this. Yeah. For my view pages, so yeah, I have the scene file, and I still have a background view Android. So this is very like the same we created. This is also a custom component, view page header. So yeah, this view page header extends always MotionLayout, and so I update the progress as a previous example. So according to the number of pages I have, yeah. So MotionLayout know when we are on tab, and so just you can update the header accordingly. So for this, have 3 steps. So the first steps will be on the start position. The second one is a key position on the middle, and the last one is the end state. So what you see here is a start state, So yeah, my droid is on the left, and the background color is white for my background. Pretty straightforward. I just moved to the middle page, so this is the key positions based on 50, that's the middle. I just update the X axis to be on the middle as well. So this is when it jump in. And so the background color is green as well. And so yeah, the last one just moved to the right, and the background color got to brown. Pretty easy. You can build many examples if you want, but yeah, that's a classic one. Yes, for my view, so this is my drawer, as you can see. So I have many things in that drawer. So I have a text, I have a view, and I have a little view on the end. So yeah, everything moves, so keep attention. Yeah, it's very similar to the previous thing. You extend it, and you give the offset to the motion layout by updating the progress. So yeah, so this is only the first row and the start state of my drawer. So the text view is there, and it started white. So you might not see it very brightly, but the text on the beginning is white, so you can see it. I have the image view that don't move too much from the first example. And if you look at the view on the right, it starts white to getting color. And it starts to be a square at 10 dp, so it extends a little. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and so my end states. So I made rotations, full rotation. I changed the text color to be the donut color. This is green in this example. And I changed as well the height of the square. It's not a square now. Of the rectangle you have on the right. And I changed as well the color. So it's go to white to the color, and it extends a little. Yeah, many things happening. And well, to mention that, this is only the first row. So the file is a bit long. Yeah, another thing you can play with. So all this is example, I was driving the component, so coordinator, view pages, or drawer, to update the motion layout. In this example, I do the thing around. So I am moving my motion layout to update a component that is a SeekBar over there on the bottom. So as the motion layout moves, the SeekBar progress is updated. So I'm just listening to on the transitions, on the transition changed to have the progress and update the progress of the SeekBar. I have two listeners to the start and to the completions. So I make a toast to say start and complete it when I have finished or started. So you see the toast there. You can play the thing around if you want. Well, that's good. There's something new called key cycle. So it's a bit tricky to understand and not fully completed acknowledgement. So yeah, I give you the official documentations from developer Android. So I would read it. Controls oscillations with respect to the position of post-layout properties during the animation. That's very clear. Hopefully, that's a joke, right? So that's not very clear, and so I will show you an example that you can understand how you can play with a little. So, so this is like my first example. So I've got the start and end on the right and on the left, but I can create those three key cycle paths. And so, yeah, there's many things coming in. So you can create the sinusoidal path just by specifying those three key cycle. So this is the end. This one is for the end. This one is for the middle, and this one is for the start. And so you specify sin, and sin. You have many choices if you want, and so you target the image. And you can change the wave. This one is one. So I will change a few things just after it. So yeah, if I want to actually flat it, I can change the translations X to 10, and so this flatten the curve. I can move the last frame position to have something like distort. So yeah, this is one on the end. This one is on the beginning. So if you move the center position, you can move a little. You can change the effects. So this is a bouncing effect. Yeah. So this is bounce. There's cosinus, and there is a triangle. So this is a triangle. So you jump. And I change the wave pair to 2, so you can repeat it. Well, that's good. It's a bit tricky example, but I can play with my coordinates or layout to make it bouncy. So in this example, I just make the droid bouncy 5 times. Just, I don't know, because I can. And so the bounce is there. The wave pair is 5, so it's just like 5 things. And so, and the transition X, no, it's I, sorry. It's minus to be on the top. So yeah, that's pretty cool. One more thing. Okay, so KeyCycle is complicated to manage, and so, well, the Android developers team, especially John Orford, created little tools to help you. So I will show you. It is this tool, so you can have a look. It's called a cycle editor, and if you can play, you can see a little what you can do. So you can play with the frames. There's a few examples, like I can show you. Look at me. So it gives you actually the key cycles you want to create this. Wrong password, so you can, yeah. So it starts very big, and the frame actually getting lighter. And do I have some crazy example? Yeah, this one, I think. No. Yeah, so it's start and fall down like a stairs. And playful move. Oh yeah, that's like an helicopter, this one. So you just take off and then. So if you manage the two, so it's playing with 2 dimensions, that example. So you have, I think, a sinus and a cosinus, and for the spiral, yeah, you play with those two. So if you play with sinus and cosinus at the same time, you're able to do some run. Yeah, mathematics. All right then. Yeah, what can I do more? I can play with fragment and play with transition. Transitions is quite easy. So yeah, this example, I have an activity and 2 fragments. So the white background is for my activity, and the fragment is a little thing like spinning. So this is the frame layer to see, so the square, colorful. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening in that situations. I'm trying to spin it in the middle. Yeah, and just to change the color, so it's primary for the starting one. So this is a little square on the bottom right with the green, yeah, color, and I change it to a full frame constraint to every direction to full screen position. Yes, and how I flip fragments. So this is pretty basic because well, I just listing the transitions progress, and just before the end of the progress, I actually flip the 2 fragments one way or the other. So yeah, it will flip just after it starts and just before it's arrived full screen. So the text detail fragment and the droid is on the detail fragments, and the text main fragment is on the main fragment. So you're flipping those 2. Yeah, just not so very beautiful, but it does the job if you want to actually play with this. And yeah, I have to set the transition listener to this because I'm actually extending MotionLayout transition listener. Very straightforward. Yeah, I can play with the on-click, so I do believe there's more things to do. So yeah, the first thing I want to show you is the motion interpolator. So this is a key attribute that you can play with the progressions So it could be linear, so that means the motions will be played linearly, so always the same speed. But with bounce, you have it go fast and then just bouncy at the end. You have some ease in, ease out, so like you can slow down before approaching it or accelerate it. That's all the attributes you can play with. So it helps you to actually manage the motions as fast as you get. And then to click, just create a click list on it. And if it started, I go to the end, and if it's at the end, I go to the start. The thing that you can see here is the bounce is always at the end. So when I go to the start boosting like this and just moving back. So I was not expecting that. I was expecting that it would be bouncy at the end, always. Yes, I'm going to talk about some limitations. So the first one was with the tooling, but I will change a few things after that. So yeah, the first thing when I don't know if many of you use the preview thing, but if you use a preview with a scene, what you see is not what is displayed, just right inside, because it's make a mix between the scene and the activity you have created. And that was a bit tricky. And if you try to play with this by adding constraint like drag and drop and things, well, I don't know. So it was too complicated and just don't know how attribute to play with and where to play with. But this changed since Wednesday. So I'm going to move to the Canary Vision of Android Studio. So this is what it has been announced just 2 days ago. So I'm just trying to get my hands on. And you can access to the start state. So yeah, you have all the constraints of the start one. So you see here, I think. Yeah, no, I can't extend this. Well, there is someone, yeah, start off. And if I go to the end, this one will be end off. Yeah, and you can play with the transition itself and play with. So yeah, you have a preview. You can change duration if you want to. So no, I can't. Okay. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Thanks. And so we go a bit faster. If I can play with bigger example, like my honeycomb, yeah, so this one, and so you can see it, and you can access to the keyframe you have right there, and so you have the rotation, so you can change the rotations to something bigger, and yeah, come on, yeah, so it doesn't see so much, but I can add something else, for example, scale to 2. It's not very beautiful, but because it's extend it, so I have to play on to things as well. But yeah, so this change the XML files as we show, but you can play with these tools. You can have as well the cycle preview. So yeah, this is a preview of your cycle there. And so if I go to this example, it will not be the same. So the cycle will be, yeah, more on the start because this one is more on the start. And if I take this one, no, not this one, which is a triangle, you will see normally the triangle there. So you have the preview of this. So it's getting helpful to know what's going on and how to play with. You have preview, you don't have to play with so many things. I don't know if it's going to be very clear and how it's going involved in the future because, well, this is a very new tool. So, yeah, a few limitations I have with these tools. If I go to maybe my header, I don't have anything. So, yeah, and this view actually extends MotionLayout in a Kotlin file. And so I don't have anything to play with here. So this is a bit frustrating, but maybe they work on it. It depends, because you have two informations, not in XML, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so that's it for Canary. So yeah, for future it could be brighter for this. Yeah, another limitations is when you turn your device, and if you are on the end state. So if you are in the end, well, it jumps on the start. So turning your device is always something in Android that has been complicated with state management. Just be aware of this. Yeah, it could be a little frustrating. So I am at the end. I turn, it will create everything, and start. So yeah, you should. I don't know if they provide options, but you should probably save the progress somewhere and restore it. Maybe that should be a solution. So this is not on the by default, so you have to play with. Another thing is performance. Yes, this is a very small one. Performance look like okay. I do that on my Xiaomi A2 Lite, I think. And so yeah, for a basic example, it looks okay. But for a more complex example, it's starting to be a bit over the limit. So you might have some performance issue when you're trying to make a lot of things happening at the same time. Just be careful. So I'm almost at the end. Should you use it? So for Canary Vision predictions, the answer is no. I think you should not go to Canary in predictions because this is not very stable. Should you start trying to use it constraint layout beta 3? I think you can start using it. Maybe in production, depends if you really want to do it. Well, Google said it's pretty safe. And normally there's no flow. Just the fact it is in beta, that means the API could change, and so you have to update your code when you update. This is only reasons, but normally it should work. Maybe, but for a side project, I think you should go for it, because side projects are for testing, and they are always like you put every beta you can in it, and you try new things all the time. This is how it works, right? Yeah. So a few references I was talking about. So the first article is made by Googlers. It actually helps you to get each step in it. So this is the official documentation by Google, wrote by Nicholas Road and John Offord. So you can get with this. Sorry. The second one is the article about the whole topic I gave you. So you can have catch up if you want to. The last one is a code lab. Very interesting. You learn to make a sun coming in and out and change the color of the lights and other things. It should be, yeah, but it's not updated to the new tools, but it helps you how to build top of everything and introduce things step by step if you want to have it. And for a few repos, of course, so there's a Google sample. You can find examples made by Google team. And the last one is, well, the old thing you have given to you on this talk. That's all for me. So I'm ready to answer a few questions. We have 15 minutes, I think, so I'm a little early, so go ahead.
Can we use it with a navigation component, between fragment transitions?
With navigation components, instead of actually make the transition between those two, you can play with. I didn't test it, so I cannot say yes, but maybe. I think I don't see any. Well,
or is in only in one XML file, one XML for fragment?
The way if you have to trigger the transition when you want to. So if you're able to trigger the transitions on a specific moment of the transition of the motion layout, you can do it, I think. I would just replace the translation, basic transitions between two fragments by actually calling your navigation to the next one. I think it should be okay, maybe.
Okay, thanks.
So you want a cup, right?
Yeah, so you mentioned like screen rotation and configuration changes reset the state. Do you know what happens if like the transition is in progress and you switch? Does it like stop in general, or does it crash because it's Android or something like that?
I didn't try it, so I'm being curious about this. Yeah, I can test it quite quickly if you have a few moments. No, I just, yeah, I mean like, so yeah, so I am on the middle and I'm trying to turn. Yeah, it's waiting to, actually it's end to, yeah, no, it doesn't crash. It's good, it go to the start. It goes to the start as done the progress.
Okay, any other questions?
So you have showed that you can animate background colors, scales, and so on. But is it possible to animate text size property of a text view?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can change to bold or to something if you want to. Yeah. So you can change the text size. I think this is an attribute. You can change the gravity, or you can change the constraint of your view. I think you can change the color of your text as well. So yeah, many things should be yeah. Great.
Anyone else? Oh,
I'd like to ask if it is possible to modify or tweak the transitions at runtime from the code, or is it only in the XML?
So, yeah, you want to actually code something
yeah, just
when it's
modify
happening.
the transition according to.
As you have access to the progress, I think you have the listener, and if you measure the progress, you can actually access your attribute and do it.
Okay.
Should be possible, but maybe crash. I don't know, but theoretically it should be possible. Yeah.
okay. No more questions? Thank you, Alex.
Thanks.